past few months, Israel has witnessed unprecedented protests against the government's plan to curtail the powers of the judiciary in the country. However, Israel's Supreme Court is currently hearing arguments against Benjamin Netanyahu's proposed judicial overhaul. A 15-judge bench of an Israeli court is hearing challenges by the watchdog groups against an amendment passed in July. This amendment ended the Supreme Court's ability to overturn some government decisions when it deems them unreasonable. Israel is divided over the government's plan to curtail the powers of the judiciary and has sparked months of protests in the nation. On the one hand, thousands of anti-government protesters are rallying outside the Supreme Court, forming a sea of blue and white Israeli flags. Protesters are chanting democracy in a show of strength for the Supreme Court. And on the other hand, those who are in favor of Netanyahu's proposed judicial overhaul have also gathered in Jerusalem.
So we came today here because we are afraid for the future of our country. When the Supreme Court take more and more power to his hands and without responsibility. Like if the Supreme Court can overrule a law or even basic law like they're doing today, it's not a democracy anymore because there's no separation between the government and the Knesset and the court.
I'm here today with these beautiful people here who are the veterans of War of 73. They actually literally saved this country at that war without any guidance from above, from the government. And now these people, they are really, really worried about the democracy of this country. And I'm only here to support them, being an Israeli, being an ex-army officer on the tanks. And I really, really beg the people of Israel to support the judicial system. Otherwise, we will, in no time, we will turn into from democracy to dictatorship.
Although other tools for avoiding the executive decisions remain in place, opponents say the amendment removes a vital check and balance in Israel's political system, while Israel's government argues that its reasonableness clause aims to stop political overreach by unelected judges. For more on this, we're now being joined by Jody Cohen for more on this, and we asked Jody, of course, about what this major challenge is in the court to the government's overhaul bill.
I'm outside the Supreme Court, where you can see protesters both for and against the government. They've been interestingly chanting the same things, chanting that the people are sovereign and that they're here to save democracy. Now, the government says that the Supreme Court has no authority even to hold these hearings today. And they say that's because the reasonableness law was passed as an amendment to a basic law which has quasi-constitutional status, and the Supreme Court are not allowed to rule on basic law amendments. The Supreme Court President Esther Hayut, on the other hand, says that if a constitutional amendment challenges the democratic character of a country, then the Supreme Court has the authority to intervene even on basic laws. And commentators are suggesting that this could lead to a constitutional crisis. Meanwhile, the hearings are expected to last hours. A decision is not expected to take place today, perhaps not even in the weeks or months to come. We know that Esther Hayut is retiring on the 16th of October, and that date has been flagged as a potential one to watch, but anything could happen. It could come sooner. This is Jody Cohen for WION World as One.